Oh, I did it again. Darn it. I got to make it not go to that picture to get started. All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Sorry for being late today. This right here. This is my nightmare. The mouse. What's funny is not that you care about the tech shit, but Bluetooth mouse didn't connect for whatever reason, right? But once it doesn't connect, there's no way to make it connect because you need a Bluetooth something to click the thing that makes the freaking thing connect. So I had to, anyway, the mouse battery got me today. Sorry about all that. And I'm seeing something, I'm not unemployed. I'm randomly employed. I've got 5 different things going at the same time. So I'm being pulled in a lot of directions. Anyway, could not get my stupid mouse to work this morning. That's why I'm late. I'm so sorry for all that. Let's see. I don't know. I saw something in here about, let's see. I am working 13-4. Last night I worked until 2 o'clock in the morning last night. Casino Quest stuff, so I'm a little tired. Anyway, let's get to the show here. As we have to do, we're going to start off with our daily paycheck. I'm going to go, or the YOLO. Let me make the YOLO run first. And actually today's YOLO, I might, actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take a poll. I'm going to take an informal poll. And there's like, how many of you stuck it out? 20 of you stuck it out. For the YOLO today, what I've got is this. I'm going to walk around the screen. I'm going to walk around and we're going to do this. We're going to go over here and let's turn the light on too so we can see some stuff. And I'm going to ask you what I should do. Here's my bets. There's the stack of money. Okay. Now we earned, I think, enough to make a decision today. And I know what some of you are going to say, but let's put it out here. There's our cash. We're going to go out with yesterday's bet. There's 320 across. Okay, there's the 320 across. Give me a second here to get that, and that. Now, yesterday, I won $70, right? Which means I could pull 65 out and say, if we burn today, we can start over again and be free and clear, right? With an extra $5. Matter of fact, I'll make that look like 5 whites, okay? So I can take actually $64, put it in the side of the rack, and go again 320 across, and we'll do a $6 horn high something, horn high yo, let's say. All right, we can do that. Be conservative. Tell me yes or no. Yes or no. Save the money. Save the seed money, says Jen. There we go. I know Dan wanted me to save the seed money yesterday. So maybe that's the call. Maybe the call is to make sure we can do this again if I happen to shit the bed. I'm looking at save the seed money. I'm looking at peel off the 64, live another day. Everybody's saying be conservative. Here it goes. The money's out. There's the $64. I'm going to put it aside. It's up in the rack, in the back side of the rack. It'll stay in the back side of the rack forever. Ken, of course, Ken's going to say save it, right? Of course. Here we go. Let's get that one rolling. Here we go. We're going to move the control panel off the table. I'm going to grab my dice, and then I'll show you something cool in a minute. Here we go. Let's get the stick out of the way. No puck needed. Just going to roll it out here. 6, 5, and a 2 and a 1. Actually, it's going to be a 6, 5, 2, 1. There we go. Here comes the thing. Nemo probably said, save it or increase. Here we go. This will be kind of a freebie day, right? It's kind of not a no-risk day, but it's like we're not going to make any progress today, right? If I happen to win, those bets would have been higher. But let's go. Here we go. Here we go indeed. $60 hard way. Here we go. $6 horn. There's the dice. They're out. I can't see it. It is a 3, ace deuce. So what we get out of this is squat, right? It would be a $6. Actually, I should have done something different. Anyway, $6 horn high ace deuce. Feels like it's going to be a $2 or actually it'll be. What I really should have done is a horn with a high ace deuce and a high ace and a high yo, but I didn't. So effectively, it's a $15 win. I'm not going to cheat. It's a $15 win today, which is nothing. 15 in the bet back. No big shakes. We survived today. We have our seed money. Tomorrow, I'll put this somewhere. I'm not sure where. We're going to slow climb it, I guess, right? I should have done horn high ace deuce, did a horn high yo, right? What I should have done was this. I mean, I wasn't thinking, I guess, but what I should have done with $6 should have been $1 or $2 there, $2 on the yo. You can't see my bets, but $2 on the yo, $2 on the ace deuce, and then $2 on the high low. That's what dollar each high low. That's what I should have done. I wasn't thinking I was going too fast, but that's okay. We'll take our $15. We got our seed money safe. We'll start again tomorrow. We'll have another hopefully okay poke at it, and I'll log that in. And I think you can see on screen, right? Can you see on screen? You probably can't. I didn't change the screen. Let me go here. I want you to see where we are. It's kind of cool, right? There's the YOLO. So far now, including today, we're 8-0. We start with 64. Today, after today's bankroll, we'll be at 405, 406, right? That's where we'll be. Not bad, right? We have to. It feels like you're kind of sputtering when you pull the seed money out, but the same result would have happened, right? I should have done 2 on the easies, 1 on the hard. I wasn't thinking. I just threw it out there because I was talking too fast, which happens sometimes to me. All right, let's come on back over here to Mr. Important, and let's talk about a couple of things. While the camera moves over, let's get over here. So a couple of things brewing today. Nothing really major. I'm going to be kind of a fast show today because it's a roulette day. I don't have a whole lot to talk about, but I do want to talk about cruising with the horseman because I brought it up yesterday. And then Ken, who's out there in the audience, Ken Knows Gambling, did it yesterday. He said, let's go Horseman Johnny style, right? And what he did was this. He basically did, can I put the thing out there? He did this. He put $500 on the don't. Now this is interesting. $500 on the don't, and then he did 3 $100 come bets. 1, 2, 3. Like so. The ratio there is different than what I normally do. Right. Normally I do a 2 units to 1 unit, right? 2 to 1 is a good level. He went 5 to 1 and really hammered in on the don't, right? What's good and bad about that, right? The good about that, the bad about that, of course, is the come out is a killer, right? The buckshot of the point is a killer. Those things will destroy you. He got hurt yesterday doing some of that stuff, but the 7 is strong all the way through. And matter of fact, when those 3 come bets get set, the 7 still wins you $200, right? You're over leveraged on the 7 here. It gives you some interesting right side plays. If all 3 come bets win, you're guaranteed to cover that. It's kind of an interesting ratio. I don't know if I would have done it that big, right? I would have gone 100, 150, 150, 150 to keep it a little closer, a little tighter, but I like it. I liked it. It was fun to watch. He had the worst series of outcomes yesterday, and he still had a good show. I won't give the result away, but it was a good show, and definitely enjoyed kind of how that worked out for him. So anyway, that was that. I'm going to show you a little bit about what the comps could look like for this here in a second too. I have a little calculator that I've got, and you can take a look at it. So there's that. And today we're going to do a little bit of roulette play, of course. It's Tuesday. Trendy Tuesdays, we always do roulette on Tuesdays because roulette is an easy way to show how trending doesn't actually work. It's everybody thinks they can bet the trend, but they can't. And roulette's a good way to kind of prove that out. So we're going to have a fun one today. It's going to be a little bit of a play on words kind of a thing, name of the strategy. So that's going to come up in just a minute. But before that, let's look at the horseman. And I did this math last night, and I've got a, if you go to casinogaming.tv, there's a comp calculator up there that I put. And I think I can pull it up. Let me see if I can pull it up for you. I'll show you how I got to these numbers. It's actually a pretty easy tool to use. Let me see, casinogaming.tv. Let me see if I can share my screen. I don't know that I can share my screen well to where you could see it. So hold on, let me just try and see what happens if I do this. Yeah, you can kind of see it. Okay, so you go to Casino Gaming TV under the Tools tab, right? There's a thing here called Comp Calculator. It's free. And you basically, I'm going to zoom out a little bit here. You put your bets in. Like, for example, if I do the don't pass bet, don't pass, don't come, we do, let's say, $100 don't pass. And then we do another bet. Let's say we do a come bet for $50, 50% size. And another come bet for 50% size. This is kind of cool, right? Pass line come, $50. And again, you can put your whole bet sequence that you play in here. Whatever you do, just put it in here, right? Pass, line, come. There's the horseman, right? It's 250 in total bets, right? 50 rolls an hour for 4 hours, right? Your ADT is $700. Your comp value at most land-based casinos will be about 175 if you're playing this for a 4-hour stretch. Now on a cruise ship, I don't have what this number is on a cruise ship. I don't know what a $700 ADT becomes point value wise on a cruise ship, but I can tell you that this is how it's calculated. This is the metric that's used to get to your ADT. There's some calculation from ADT that a cruise ship uses that's different than a land-based casino to determine your points. Now, the comp value is probably the same. What they probably do is something like, 1.5x or 2.5x, the comp value becomes whatever points you're awarded for that session. Something along those lines, I think, is how that works. Okay, so anyway, there's that. And so if we take a look at what the horseman looks like at that level, right, there it is, 175, your comp value is about $44. Now, I compared it to the Skill 66. And to be fair, I made the Skill 66 at 220 inside to make sure that the dollars are the same, right? To make sure that the risk levels are the same. On that one, your average bet would be about 220 or 110 because you're going 220, you're doing a 66 inside pressure, and then coming down to 110 is how that would work. Your average bet, depending on the boss, will be either the initial 220 or the ending 110, depending on how they see your risk level. Your ADT is 250. Comp value is 63. Now, this is going to be your comp comparison to the horseman at the same basic betting levels. That's how this looks. Now, what's interesting is the Skill 66 is a higher comp value. Why is that? Right? Why is that? Same basic bet levels. Actually, it's a little lower on the bet level. That's the high house edge, right? The horseman, every bet is 1% house edge, 1.5% house edge. On the Skill 66, they're all way higher, right? The 5 and 9 are crushers, right? Because the higher house edge, right, your negative EV is higher, and therefore your ADT is higher, and therefore your comp value is higher. But which one of these would you rather play for 4 straight hours, 7 straight days? You've seen me play the Skill 66. You've probably played it yourself, and it goes upside down, upside down, upside down. Catches a roll, right? You're going to have this major wave. You can lose it all pretty quick. The horseman, you're pretty much going to tread water that whole time, right? You're going to get good comp value while treading water. The 66 will give you better comp value while potentially losing a bunch of money. So there's this sort of when you're full right side like that for all those hours, you're going to catch the bad runs will catch you pretty bad. So when you're thinking about comp value only, you're only playing for comps. That's why roulette is a great comp game, because you can hedge the shit out of roulette. You can have everything covered by 2 numbers and hedge the whole game with big ass bets, and your average bet size is blah, right? You can hedge the crap out of it, and your comp values become big. When I play roulette, your points go up like slot machine points. They really go up better than craps, frankly. The problem with roulette is you can't play it for 4, 5, 6 hours. You can play it for half hour to an hour at a time. You don't get as much time at the table, most cases, but you can hedge pretty good in it. Anyway, that's the analysis. One thing I didn't do with Ken's rolls yesterday was to count his rolls. He kept saying he played it for 10 minutes. And he was like, this simulates about an hour of play because he rolls it like super fast, right? I don't know if he got 50 rolls in or not. I'm guessing about 50 rolls an hour for craps as an average. I don't know that he got 50 in. He probably got about 30 in. So maybe his result of whatever he won or lost in that show in the 10 minutes that he played it doesn't really simulate a real hour, but it's damn close to it. And so that's what that looks like. So anyway, there you go. Jen says, comment about the pit boss. She said they don't differentiate the bets. Yeah, it's the total bet. They don't differentiate the bets. It's the total bet. So you're saying it's the house edge, and those on the 5s and 9s don't matter. They don't care. I know that some bosses do. Some bosses do calculate, because if you're doing hot betting, they factor that in somehow. There's some way that they factor it in. I don't know how or who, but I think some bosses don't. I'll have to ask. Maybe I can ask the guy from Ellis that we know, how his people do it. They don't like to give that information out, actually. But Jen said I had to scroll back. And they said they don't differentiate the bets. They put the total bet size. Now, is that on a ship or is that on a land-based casino? It's really quick. Is it ship or land-based? All right, there we go. That's the quick and dirty math on that. So we're going to go ahead here and jump into some roulette. And I'm going to play a strategy called the Beijing Special. Okay, now this is going to be, we're going to roll 7 numbers. I'm going to track the 7 numbers. I don't have a board, right? So I'm going to track the 7 numbers. And we're going to do a martingale. We're going to Marty plus on the Christopher Mitchell Special on the betting, right? Martingale plus a unit, okay? 7 levels, which means it's going to be 2,500 units at risk, or 502 units at risk. So if I'm betting dollars and I go all the way through and we lose, it's going to be $2,500 in losses. If I go with nickels, it'll be 12,000 and change. If I go with blacks, it'll be 50K and change, right? That's the risk we're going to do today. I'm going to do it with dollar bets just so you can see the units won in the end. What I'm going to do is I'm going to roll 7 numbers. We're going to log them out. The betting pattern is going to be, and I've seen people talk about this strategy in roulette. I've seen them do the strategy in baccarat, both. And it's ludicrous either way, okay? But here's what you're going to roll 7 numbers. You're going to bet either the exact same 7 numbers, meaning I don't think that the exact same sequence will come. It'll be close, but not quite what it was, the last 7. So, whatever the 7 numbers are, those exact 7 repeat in the exact same order. That's one way of betting this thing. The other way of betting it is to go reverso, right? Go opposite. So if it was black, 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 we're going to go red, red, red. We're going to bet the opposite of what just happened on the 7 numbers. Either you bet the exact same 7 numbers and say, well, it's not going to be quite right, or you bet the complete opposite of the 7. You do a reverse engineering of it. You reverse the whole thing and go backwards, right? Either way is ludicrous. I mean, JB has told us this. All the math guys have repeated it, actually, almost word for word. My favorite saying of all time, right? The opposite, or the impossible, is a guarantee, right? They use the coin flip example in the football stadium, right? Somebody's going to flip 11 heads in a row to win the whole thing. So it's going to happen. Somebody's going to do it, right? Somebody's going to roll 11 sevens in a row someday. None of us will probably see it, but somebody will, right? It's going to happen. Same thing here. The fallacy is the last 7 things will not happen in the exact same order or in the reverse order. So we're going to roll it out both ways today. I'm going to use dollar chips the best I can to do this. Why am I doing this, John? Skill, why am I doing this? It's not complicated at all. It's very, very simple. You roll 7 numbers and you bet the opposite. It's super easy. It's super easy. There's nothing complicated about it. I'm doing this. Trendy Tuesday is kind of a day where we want to talk about trends and streaks, right? Some days I talk about on roulette how to catch the run, how to bet low, how to jump into a run when it's happening and kind of stick with it, right? This one here, I've seen so many videos where people do this. They say, look, you're going to track X and you're going to say X cannot happen again because patterns, whatever, right? The pattern can't repeat. That's an anti-trend, right? I'm just going to try and, I don't know if I disprove it. Sure, this probably works 90% of the time, right? This will probably work 90% of the time, right? Most of the time it's going to work. The one time it doesn't work, you're going to lose $2,500 or $12,000 or $50K. You're going to lose your entire thing, right? This is like the field martingale thing. So it's going to be kind of an anti-martingale video as the core message, but you can watch this go, and like professional gamblers will tell you, martingale is the way to go because you always get that extra unit. We're going to go Marty plus to make sure we have extra profit. We're going to try and go anti what happened. So I'm going to roll 7 numbers. We're going to watch. You can always on the roulette wheel watch the thing, or in baccarat you can write the numbers down. We're just going to use chips to do it. So give me a second to go to my to put the table up over there, and we'll jump into it. So I'm going to move this out of the way. I'm going to move this wheel into where it goes. Look at how smooth the setup is, right? Let's change the screen too, because I got to get the right thing on there, right? It's got to say Daily Paycheck, right? And there it is. Daily Paycheck today. Come on. There it is. All right. So we're going to buy in for a different amount of money, obviously. I'll use reds and blacks to track. Let's put the roulette board up. Ugh. I can't wait till I get my new system where this just kind of happens a little easier. Let's slide this down a little bit. this way. Slide it this way just a bit. And just a bit down. There we go. Look at that. It's almost like I know what I'm doing. If only I had that preset, right? If I wasn't doing the YOLO, we'd have it ready. All right, here we go. Let's roll 10 numbers. And I'll log them out here with blacks and reds. We're just going to go black and red. I'll put them here, and then we'll do our betting. All right? Here we go. Here we go. Let's just roll. We're going to let the wheel decide. Oh, this way. All right, we got 00, which doesn't count. Actually, it does count. I guess I'll do a green. I'll do a green. That's weird that we got a green. Actually, I can't do a green. We have to skip the zeros because I can't bet red or black on the greens. So we'll skip the greens. We'll do just the red and black outcome. This is going to be great. Watch it go all green the whole time, right? Yeah. Here we go. All right, we got a 4 black, so it's going to be a black. This will be. We're going to set the pattern here. Black is the first one. We'll do 7. We'll do up to 7. All right, there's a black 10. That's 2. Can you see the chips okay? I think you can, right? I'm going to get $2,500 here, too. It's my bankroll. That's a red 16. And then you got to decide in chat, what do you want to do? Do you want to go the exact same pattern, can't repeat, or do you want to bet the opposite of the pattern? Right? You have 2 ways to look at that bet. Get in the hole. Another 0. Okay, we got another green. 2 zeros, by the way. 2 zeros in 4 or 5 rolls. That's interesting. Is that a trend? I don't know. That's a red 25. 3 more to go. You always bet opposite from 5 rolls back. Try. You'll get say 100%, Gary. I will draw out like the worst thing. I know they call Dennis the hole finder, but I think I might have that title. There's a black. And then here we go. Here's my dolly. Look at the dolly out. I'll need the dolly for later when I'm paying myself. All right, red 23, that's number 6. The next one is the money shot, and then we'll see how we do. All right, and we got a black 20. Okay, so interesting. If you're betting the streak, there's no streak here, right? You get killed the whole. This is like the worst possible thing for a streak better. Complete chop, right? You're betting what happened, you win. Betting what happened, you lose, right? You're getting. All right, here we go. So our first bet, I have $2,500 here. Okay, that's going to be my bankroll. I'll put it down this end so we can bet over here. So the first one, I'm going to take the black or the red out or the purple out. We're going to get 400 in black. I'll do 15 green. I'll do 20. Actually, I'll do 25 in red. And we'll do, I'll do 40 in red. And we'll do 10 in white. Okay, our first bet is going to be $1, right? $1. We're going to go, here's our bankroll, right? 2,450 and 500. Okay, our first bet is going to be a 1-unit bet on, what are we thinking? Opposite? Is that what we said? Opposite? Let's go. Let's do the same. We'll do it twice. We'll do the same first, right? This can't happen again. 1 unit on black. Okay? 1 unit on black. Here we go. Bet the chop. I'm betting martingaling that those 7 numbers ain't going to happen. That's the plan here. Those 7 numbers cannot happen in that same order again. And we get a black, right? So we win. We win, right? If it happens again, we're good. We win one, right? There's this. There it is. Boom. We won one. Same bet it. Awesome. Keep betting the same thing. If we ever lose one, we just martingale it, right? Just follow the thing and martingale it. And we got it black 2. So that wins. Bam. Put the profit pile over there. Here we go. It's like printing money, baby. Until you're not. Actually, this one here's on red. This is a red. Remember, we're betting black, black, red. We hit a 15, right? So the black wins that time, right? So this one loses now. We lose this third one. We're going to bet red again, but we got a martingale. So we're going to lose that. We're going to martingale it. The 1, 2 that we were out there, right? So 2 plus 1. 3 units. We're going to do the Marty plus a unit. I'm going to do the aggressive martingale, okay? We're here. Actually, I should put a PC marker so you know where we're at on the thing. By the end of the series, we should be in great shape, right? There's a black, so we lose this one. Black stays. Now we're going to bet 3, 6, 7 units is the next bet. 7 unit bet. So 5, 6, 7. 1 unit higher than where we were. And we're going here. We're going to go to black now. My felt is coming off. From my whites. Ooh, it's a red. We lose that one. Now we're going to go 7 plus 7 is 14, plus a unit is 15 units. Now we go to 15. So take 3 reds. We're going to go to a red bet now. So we've lost every one, right? So now we're doing the exact, this is like the opposite has happened, right? All the way through. Isn't that interesting? Here we go. Be a red. You got to be a red. It's got to be a red. Hey, it's 18 red. There we go. 15 bucks. So we're going to win $15, which is awesome. We can start over again. Okay? That's great. Our betting can start over again. So there's 25, right? And there's 25, 40, plus 5. So we're up $6 now. We're up $6 is how that worked out. Okay? We're still here though. We're going to start back over here, right? Our last bet is going to be a $1 unit on red. Follow that pattern. And I'm going to work my way back. I'm going to work it back up again, right? Didn't I grab my bankroll? I thought I did. I think I paid myself, then put it out there. I thought I did. Come on. Be a black. Hey, it's a red. So we lose our bet. Now, we lose that. So our next bet will be 3 units. Now, the question is, where do we do it? We're going to work our way backwards now. We're going to say, look, this streak cannot happen again in reverse. Let's reverse engineer it. Let's go back from the end side. Right? We'll start from the black. Our first bet will be on black, 3 units on black. We're going to work backwards. We're going to reverse engineer it. That this exact pattern will not happen. We're going to win something before it gets here. We're going to win one of these bets. Okay, so we're betting black first. Reverse it. Reverse engineering. And I'm doing like a little bit of extra tax, right? It's like a Marty plus 1, a little bit of a tariff on top of that thing. So when we do win, we don't just win a unit, we win this collective series. There's a red. Okay, so it's going to be red, and that bet falls. Next bet's going to be 3 plus 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7 units. 7 units on red. Here we go. 7 units on red. Coming backwards up the chain. And the next time we'll come this way, opposite. We can just kind of run the pattern. There's a red, 32. We win. Yay, we win. Okay, so that'll take $7, which is great. We can start back over again at base. And our next bet's going to be on black. So we're going to be here on the black. All right, 1 unit on black. Nice thing is we're not getting into the Marty. We don't have to Marty too heavy. We get to start over when we win. We're still following the pattern, but we're starting over when we win, which is nice. I'm not going to start over here. I'm going to start over where I was. We're going to run the whole thing through. So that's a 26 black. Booyah. That pays. Same bet. Although we're going to red this time. Here we go. The next time through, I said we're going to come the other direction and bet the opposite. We're going to get lucky and win all kind of money today. Here we go. Be a red. Oh, it's a red 9. Look at that. We win again. Right, that bet wins. Bam, same bet. Now we're here. Stay on red at 1 unit. Not pressing, not running the streak. What a chop, right? Horrible chop. All right, we got a 13. That's a black, so we lose our bet. Okay. So next bet's going to be 3, and it's going to be on black. I'm not doing very good with the dolly. Come on, black. Hey, we got a 20 black. Booyah. 20 black pays 3. We can reset our bet to level 1. Our next bet's going to be black once again for 1 unit. Make them pay to make you wait. Marty Plus, whatever. God, the Marty Plus is just the scariest thing. Here we go. Be a black. Be a black. It is a black. It's 33. Look at that. Bam and bam. All right. So now we're at the front again. We can start all the way over with a 1 unit bet, and this time we're going to go opposite of the number. Let's say this thing can't happen, and I believe it so heavily, I'm going to go opposite. It's not going to go red, red, black, black, red, black, red. We're going to go opposite of the same pattern, right? Let's go 1 unit on the opposite of what's here, which is red. Anti-patterns, right? In programming, we call this the anti-pattern. Anti-patterns are basically, by the way, when people do things that work but in the wrong way. All right, there's a black 17. Black 17. So we're going to lose this bet. We're going to go to the next one. Opposite of black is red for 3. Right? So it's the one we lost, doubled up, plus a unit. Here we go. I want to get to the end. I want to get a big ass, the whole money at the last bet. I'd love to see this thing work itself all the way through and screw us in the end. I mean, that'd be fun. What do we got? We got a red 30, so we win. Of course we're going to win, right? That's perfect day. Here we go. Red 30 wins. That's awesome. That all comes back. Now our next bet's going to be on the opposite of red, which is black. For 1 unit, we can start the process over. I had somebody tell me one time, when you're doing a thing like this, to never stop the Marty. Just go Marty the whole way through. Like, even when you win, you know, like press the win with what you won kind of a thing. I don't know, man. That just feels a little bit dangerous. All right, we got a red. So we lose our bet. Lose our bet. There's that. Now it's going to be a 3 unit bet on the opposite of red, black. Let's go. I'm going to try and work on the backwards spin, I think. Because some of these tables that you deal on are reversed. Black. We got black, so we win. Booyah. 3 unit win, baby. Bam. Back to base. I love it. Now we're going to bet 1 unit on red. Here we go. Let's try and reverse the wheel. Can I spin it backwards? That feels weird. Going backwards is weird. Yeah, the most I've had is like $28, right? Seriously, I haven't had. I think I had one $15 bet out there one time, maybe. All right, 2 black. Okay, it's a black, we lose. Okay, bummer. Lose that one. Now we're going to go to red. Opposite of red is black. We're going to go bet black for 3. And let's go. Ooh, that was not a good. I think you're supposed to do this one left-handed, actually, not right-handed. I think when you go that way, you have to use your left hand because you're looking at the table. There's all these, as I'm taking the roulette course at CEG, there's so many nuances to these games, dealing these games, that you just don't, we as a player don't really realize. That's a black, we win. In terms of like how the ball gets rolled and like all the protocols are just very interesting. All right, there's black. Over to here, again, opposite of red is black, we just stay where we are. But yeah, so the protocols for like how you do this, right and left-handed, because you're supposed to look away from the wheel at the table. I have to look that way. So I'm spinning left-handed so I can see the full table. If I have my right hand, my back could be to the table. And I'm watching for when the call happens. Okay, so we lose our black. There's a red. Last 2 bets. We're over here. We're martying up +1 on the opposite of black, which is red. Here we go. Here we go. Left hand. Left hand is a little bit sketchy. Yeah, you get to the end of the pattern, it's the win goal, right? Here we go. Looking at a red. Looking at a red. Come on, baby. We got a red 5. We got a red 5. That's going to be a winner. Winner chicken dinner. 3 units. And now our last bet is going to be, again, on red, opposite of black. So we put those whites over there. Take this down. Last bet. So we snaked it like 3 times, right? We went back and forth 3 times. You know? Here's the last one. Now we're going to do a little rack count here in a minute, okay? That's a 25 red, and we win our last bet, which is fan-freaking-tastic. Okay, let's color ourselves up and see where we are, all right? Again, I'm just doing dollar bet. So there's 25. There's 50 we'll do it the way we started. There's 25, 45, 5, and 10, okay? So 50, 75, 90, 95, 100. That's 2,400, 2,500. We have 15, 25, 23 units in profit. Okay? At $1 a unit, we won 23 bucks. Okay? If that was $5 units, we would have 23 $5 units, which would be like 100 and whatever, 115 bucks in profit. Okay? If those were quarters, 23 quarters feels like 575 bucks to me. Okay? If you're doing it with quarters, God help you, because you could lose $12,000, but that's a $500 win, going back and forth the snake, right? If they're blacks, obviously you win a couple of grand. Okay? We never went past level 3. We got to a 50. We lost 1. We lost at 3. We got to 7. And then that 3 unit loss became 7. The 7 became 15. That was as far as we got. 15 would have became 31. 31 would have became 60 something, 63. That would have became 120 whatever, and then you're out of money. By that time, you're into the purples and you're out of money, right? On all the losses. So there it is. There's a little follow the snake the wrong way sort of thing, right? Like either it's gonna for sure repeat, it's gonna not repeat, like we're gonna go opposite of everything, right? Or we're gonna go backwards up the thing, right? So many ways to kind of do that, right? Nobody's risking 12K. Now I'm not saying that you should. Let me go back. Let me go to the other screen real quick. Let me come back over here and let's just chat a minute. Let's just chat. Let me come over here. Hold on a minute. There. All right. So here's the thing. Oh, what happened to my camera? Hello? Camera? There you go. That was weird. Okay, let me go back over here. That was super, super crazy. Sorry about that. I'm not sure why my camera, look at that, it just turned itself off. There we go. Okay. So the weird thing about that is this. I showed you the dumbest way to do it, the martingale. Nobody's going to martingale, and Jen's right. Nobody's risking 12K, right? Nobody is going to risk 12K to do that. But what's the difference? If you're going to bet the streak, okay, what is a streak? And let's really try and define a streak, okay? And I'm going to go back to the roulette table really quick and just talk about this, okay? What is the difference? Now, of course, you're going to see the wheels out of the picture now, right? What is the difference? Okay, when I told you before, right? When I'm streak betting, right? I'll bet a unit, right? And if it wins, we stack it. And if it wins, we go up and pull. If the 3-unit wins, we go up and pull, right? And you start, progressively betting that streak. Okay, what is the difference? In all honesty, and I want your honest answers here in chat. Now watch in chat. What is the difference between that happening or this happening? What's the difference of this happening? What's the difference? What is the difference between black, black, red, red, black, or 7 reds in a row or 7 blacks in a row? What is the probability that this happens or this happens or this happens? What's the probability? It's the exact same. Okay. If you're going to try and bet, always bet black and catch the black run. If you're going to always bet red and catch the red run, or you're going to bet whatever the hell that pattern is, it's the same, right? If you win, you progress it. If you win, you progress it. If you win, you progress it. The same as betting it all being the same color. What the color is doesn't matter. What matters is that what you bet on wins multiple times in a row. Okay? Why do people bet red or black or red and black or whatever the word is, right? Whatever the thing is, it's easy. Jen said it perfectly at the beginning of this thing. God, this is complicated. Why are you making this so complicated? You don't have to. What I just did is no different than going red, 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 or all black. It doesn't matter what the color is. You're betting on a pattern. One player chooses to always bet the red. That's his pattern. One player chooses to bet always black. That's his pattern. One player chooses to bet red, red, black, black, red, red, black, black. That's his pattern, right? If the wheel lands in your pattern that you're betting on or the streak that you're looking to catch, progress your wins. Doesn't matter which set of outcomes you're seeing, as long as you're betting on what you're betting on happens to win. The last 7 things that happen pattern that I just showed you, just a way to jump into the game and find a way to play. It does not matter. What matters is how you bet it. I showed you the worst way to bet it. I showed you martingale, right? Martingaling your losses through in a specific set of 7 outcomes is ludicrous. Sometime you're going to get that bad set of outcomes in a row, and you're going to lose your $12,000, right? If you're betting flat, 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 progress, flat, flat, flat when you lose, that's the way to do it, right? Find the pattern you want to bet on, whatever it is, stick to it, and let life happen around you. But martingaling is where you get in trouble. Today, the martingale worked. The martingale +1 worked because we had no danger in there, and we hit a couple of ones with the extra units on it, and that's where the profit comes from, all right? That's skill, why I show this to you, okay? The patterns don't matter. It's just what you're deciding to bet on. I like to bet whatever came last. My pattern I choose to bet on is follow the color. It doesn't matter if it's follow the color or if it's always red, right? Shackelford says on Baccarat, always bet banker. It doesn't fucking matter. Bet whatever came last. Always bet player because you don't want to play the commission. Whatever you want to do, it doesn't matter. The pattern that's going to come out of that shoe or out of that wheel is going to happen. As long as you're correctly betting as it comes out, you're going to be fine, right? Bet low when you're losing, bet high when you're winning. That's the answer, guys. All right, let's go. Let me go check for any questions in here. There might be some. I don't know. Let's take a look. Let me search for the letter Q in the thing. Let's see. The first comment is a question for me, says Skill. And Skill says, you have a new person asked a question. It was the first comment of the show. Okay, let me go look. Let me go backwards and see. The first comment of the show, who was the commenter? Because the first comment I see is from Jen. That's making fun of me for being late. Who's the other comment from? I don't see it. I don't see what's going on. What's happening here? Crap, I hope all goes well. What's happening with Joe? Is Mary sick? Is Mary getting work done? Huh. Well, prayers out there. I don't know. This must be, this Reggie. Okay, this must be the one. That's weird that my comments are out of order. Good morning. Wondering if you can mention something. All tables, the bounce. I don't understand how people talk about how it only means 2 tables curious was good or bad. I didn't played. Okay, a couple questions here from Reggie. So let's do the first one. Good morning. Wondering if you can mention something about the tables and bounce. I don't understand, but people talk about it. I've only been on 2 tables. So here's what you find. And I'll show you some examples. Let me go to this view here. We'll go to the box view. So my table is an interesting one. My table is a casino table. So casino tables are constructed differently than home use tables, by the way. And they're constructed for longevity. A lot of reasons why tables are bouncy is because they take the felt off the table when it gets worn out, and they put a new felt on the table, right? And they build them up, and so more layers, like picture like 5 t-shirts in your drawer, the bouncier, the pattier it gets, right? They do it because it keeps the tables to last a long time. My table has plastic underneath of the felt, actually. It's like a layer of like hard plastic, almost like a cutting board, which makes my table extremely bouncy, right? It's a weird bounce, right? But the table is built to last forever. That's why it's like that. So when people are looking at the bounciness of tables, you look at stuff like this. I'm going to bring my mouse pad out. Hold on one second. Give me a second to do this. So you can see like the regular table here. If I just drop dice on it, right, you'll hear the clack and they'll roll like you expect, pretty much, right? You'll hear a clack and they'll roll kind of what you expect. A bouncy table, if you haven't seen one, this is a mouse pad, so you won't see this exact surface out there, but the difference, the dice of a bouncy table is that they'll go all over the place. That thing launches them like they're hitting a trampoline, right? And they'll never stay still. So a person who's trying to control the dice or trying to roll the dice in such a way that they don't go crazy, right? Nice and easy like this on a hard surface table has a better chance to have maybe a little bit of control over the action versus this guy who can't keep them on the table. That's the deal with bounce. So I hope that answers your first question. And I think there's another question asking about card craps in California. I've never played it. I know the Justice Jen out there has played it. She probably already spoke to you about it in chat. It's a weird game. It's like you still get to play craps. The probabilities are the same, but it's weird. You know what I mean? Like sometimes the 7 is a 4, right? And you can have a longer roll because you're not rolling any 4s, right? But it all works out in the end because the next shooter, the 7 is the 8. You know what I mean? It's weird. And the bets, the way they pay the bets, I think doesn't match. It's nice to be able to have a craps table, I guess, but it's not the same. And I think a lot of people don't love it. All right, so I think that's it for that. Are there any PCs that I'm missing? PC, I'll do a quick search for that. Let's see. I saw the comment with Pit Boss. She's saying they count the same. She works Las Vegas downtown. Okay, that's interesting, Jen. I'm going to ask the Ellis Island guy too. And I'll also ask our friend over at Station at Palace what they do. If I feel like some bosses are tighter with it, I don't know. Maybe they use the general house edge of the table as the metric. I don't know. Anyway, Buckeye says I have a good looking spin. Let's see. Did I only win roulette because I went wrong way by mistake? No, I went both. I think I went both directions. Didn't I go both directions? I think I went down. I did it different every time. I went down the same. I came back reverse, and then I went back opposite. I think I did each way a different version of it, just to kind of show how you can play the patterns. I wasn't really trying to win. I'm just kind of. Mary has surgery. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, I'm going to write Joe a note when we're done here. So, I don't know if you could hack it. I mean, I think people have said this, right? I don't know that you can do it because correct me if I'm wrong, and Jen, you've played card craps, so pipe in here. do they show you the cards ahead of the roll? I don't know if they do or not. And is the cards the same for every shooter, or is every roll a new set of cards? I don't know how they work it. Maybe some casinos work differently. I don't know. So let me know how that works. Sorry, wrong camera there. I don't know how it works. I've never played it. I've never seen it played. I've just heard about it being played. And I think that every one does it a little bit differently or something like that. So Jen can answer the question. I know she's played it for sure. So, but yeah, so if you know, if the cards come up and you know that the 7 is actually a 3-1-4, right? If that becomes a 7, okay, well, that's cool. So I'm not going to roll very many 7s on this shooter. But the next shooter, the 4-4 or the 6-2 is a 7. Okay, now I'm going to roll a lot of 7s, right? So they do show the cards ahead. If you were that kind of a dice influencer where you could like cherry pick what you're throwing, that'd be amazing if you could do that. I mean, you know, God, boy, if the 7 was a 9, skill and luck would be all over that, wouldn't he? You'd hide the 9 all day long on his dice. Yeah, new series per shooter. Okay, thanks, Jen, for the clarification there. All right, I'm going to get out of here. Time to go to work. Big day today. We have, we uploaded, by the way, I was telling you, we did, I worked like 14 hours yesterday. We uploaded 2 terabytes of videos to the Casino Quest Nexus website and the Casino Education Group dealer website. All the crap, the whole craps course is up there, plus 70-something quizzes that are, you know, it's like true or false, right? All that is up on 2 websites now. It was the whole team that got on it. We have a nice, we're going to probably launch the online dealer training very soon. And it's a lot of work to get all that stuff done, but it's coming. It's coming. The team came together really good. All hands on deck kind of a situation. So anyway, that's why I'm tired and out of sorts. All that said, guys, I'm out. Y'all have a great rest of your day. Tomorrow is hump day. I'm not sure what we're going to do tomorrow. Maybe we'll do Red Cross tomorrow. It's kind of a hump day thing, right? It's kind of a hybrid. Red Cross tomorrow. See y'all then. In the meantime, God bless all of you. Special prayers out to Joe and Mary. And I wish I would have known that was going on earlier. I would have said something. But anyway, love y'all. Bye.